Hello there. My name is Mo with my co-host Corey. We are The Real Guys, and this is The Real Show with 2 E's. Today, we ask you to do not eat, to taste. As I'm accompanied by my co-host Corey. How are you doing today, Corey?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
You can watch this on our video version on YouTube, or you can listen to us on Google, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you get your podcast. You can also interact with us on Twitter at The Real Show FM. But today, Corey, what are we reviewing for the listeners?
Today, we are reviewing The Menu.
Yes, I'm very excited about this, Corey, actually.
2022's The Menu.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this for some time. It was about a week ago when you asked me, Murray, what will we be reviewing for this month? And I said, let's try The Menu. Knowing secretly that I was like, oh, yes, we get to review it. I'm really happy because I've been waiting to review this film for some time. Corey went into this completely blind, not knowing anything.
Yep.
I just want to get your first impressions when the film finished.
Okay.
What was obviously right? Let's just get it out there. Spoilers ahead.
Yes. Spoilers
are ahead for 2022's The Menu. If you don't want to know anything about the film, go away now and come back when you've watched it. Please watch it. It's good. It's very good. What did you think, Corey? Take us through it.
So this is on Disney Plus. For obviously, if you want to,
it was out in cinemas. We discussed that it was out in cinemas.
If you want to rewatch it, Disney Plus.
Yeah, we didn't watch it in cinemas though.
Disney Plus, obviously, when you click on the thing, it tells you what genre it is, and it said thriller, comedy, and I think something else as well. And I immediately saw that and thought, okay, so this is going to be like a thriller, but not serious, right? About a killer chef,
right?
And I was like, okay, right, cool. So I sat down and I was like going for the film and. We'll get into what happens. I love how the film is paced. I think the pacing of this film is great. At the end of the film, I was like, somewhat correct. It lent less into the comedy than I thought it would. It's less comical as in, it's more somewhat dark humour.
Yes, it is dark humour, which I know you like. That's why I thought you'd like it.
I really enjoyed the film.
Yeah.
It's one of those films, and I love films when they do it, where you leave either the cinema or, in my case, the bed.
Yes.
Where I was watching this. And you kind of leave it, and you have to. You don't really have a general reaction. If someone goes, "Oh, what did you think of the film?" You kind of go, "I don't know yet." It needs time to sink in.
It took several days. I watched this over a lunchtime with my mum, and it took us several days. We didn't even finish. Actually, at that dinner that day, I said, "What do you think of The Menu?" He said, "I'm going to need more time."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, me too, actually."
Yep.
So we took another couple of days before we actually ended up having any length of conversation about it.
Yes. It definitely takes some time to sink in and to properly kind of think about it and kind of go back and go, oh, yeah, actually, you know what, yeah.
Let's talk about just the plot, just a bit of an overview.
Yes.
On the island of Hawthorne?
Hawthorne's a restaurant.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
They have a private island where there's this exclusive restaurant. Charges I think it's $125,000 for each entrant, and the renowned famous chef Julian Slowick brings a limited amount of diners to his elite exclusive restaurant. They have to come on a boat and leave. But this time he's got a very special menu planned.
He does.
He's invited people instead. He's invited well-renowned food critic.
Yep.
And her publicist. Yes. They've got a classic movie star actor coming as well, trying to launch a new food show with his producer. Then we've got film foodie and fanboy is there as well.
Yep.
And some men who work for the company which have kept Slowick's business open.
Yeah, they work for the... I forgot what his actual thing is.
Yeah, RECC something.
Yeah, the guy who essentially gives money to Slowick to keep the business going.
Keep the business open, yeah. 3 men from that business have also arrived, and also someone who shouldn't be there.
Correct.
Margot Mills, who is played by Anna Taylor-Joy.
Yep.
Who is brought in by Will... I've forgotten his last name. Nicholas Hoult, not Will. Yes. Nicholas Hoult, who plays Taylor.
Exactly.
Who is the sort of fanboy, sort of restaurateur, foodie kind of guy.
Yes.
Fan of the restaurant who brings his, all his camera to take pictures and stuff and observe the. He loves the design, loves the dishes, loves all the food.
He does.
Takes a lot of pictures.
He does take a lot of pictures.
when you shouldn't take pictures. They tell you not to take pictures.
One of people were like,
Yeah,
before they eat.
exactly.
No.
I cringe. You know what? I cringed when that happened. I was like, don't take pictures of the food.
It's like Instagram.
Exactly. Instagram. I saw that once in real life, and I was cringing. And we were at a garden centre, and I saw a couple order like smoothies, and they had whipped cream on the front, and they had those like stripy straws. And this woman arranged the cups next to each other, crossed the straws over, and like leant back with her phone in the back of the chair, and took a picture. And I was like with my hand on. I was like, I wish I was Julian Slowick, so I
There's a couple times where that's acceptable.
Knock some shades into her, you know. Anyway,
there's only a couple times where that's acceptable.
Knock some sense. So it's
clap some sense.
Yeah, clap some sense. Bang! Julian Slowick with a clap. That's the. Do you notice he does that twice and it catches Margot each time?
Yeah.
But the third time after the discussion in the bathroom, she's watching him, so she knows when he'll do it, and so she isn't shocked by it like everyone else is. Nice stuff. There's loads of little touches like that.
There's a lot of little stuff.
There's loads of little touches in this film like that. Amazing, great writing.
Yep.
Obviously, credit to the screenwriter Will. Sorry, the screenwriter's name is Will Tracy. That's why I said Will. Credit to screenwriter Will Tracy, who was inspired by his visit to Bergen, Norway, where they had to go to a restaurant that was on an island. It was called Cornelius. I'm trying not to butcher this name. It was called Cornelius Stormestrand.
Okay.
Stormestrand.
Yep.
I imagine it's some fancy Bergen, Norway word for it. It's a very unique concept.
Yes,
it's a concept piece. It's going to this fancy restaurant.
Yes.
And sitting and enjoying this elite meal prepared by this amazing 5-star chef.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether this 5-star chef has sinister intentions, it's Ralph Fiennes. He looks like Voldemort.
He does look like Voldemort.
Yeah. He's in like the One Piece kind of jacket. Yeah. He's going around with his scowl at everybody. He does literally look like Voldemort. I'm sorry, Ralph Fiennes. I'm sure you're a wonderful man and very handsome, but you look like Voldemort when you're not wearing the makeup.
Yeah.
And he puts again stellar performance. The two performances of this film are Julian Slowick and Margot.
Yes.
They just pair off each other so well, and you get the tension almost immediately because she's not meant to be there.
No.
The original guest that Taylor was bringing was it Tyler? Tyler, sorry, not Taylor. The original guest that Tyler was bringing is not Margot.
No.
He brought her, he hired her, let's say, to come along with him, whereas his actual girlfriend, who the luckiest woman in the world, broke up with him beforehand.
Correct.
So wasn't there.
Yeah. No, he essentially got dumped.
Brings a date.
Right, I'm going to bring just anyone I can.
Anyone I can pay for.
Exactly.
Brings her, and she doesn't even understand. She doesn't know about this fancy food, whatever. And they serve the course. First they go on the island, and the island we start off is. Did you get a very culty sort of feeling straight away?
So, there's a video game that came out.
Here we go.
Last year. Yeah, I know, right?
What was this name? What was this video game name?
Are you aware of the Dark Pictures Anthology?
No, I'm not. Right.
So, the Dark Pictures Anthology is a series of games that include things like Man of Medan or what's the one people would know? It's got I was literally looking this up the other day.
And this is to do with somehow maybe this is to do with the island type.
It's to do with the island.
Okay.
So Dark Pictures Anthology, give me 2 seconds. Wendigo, which is the name of the animal that is in it. Until Dawn.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So it's part of that.
Yes,
one came out recently called Devil in Me, which essentially is these people are invited on an island to stay in a hotel, which is a recreation of a hotel that was used by a guy called H.H. Holmes. Look him up.
Oh, yes.
And so they're on an island and they get trapped on an island. I immediately thought of that.
Right.
I went, right, these guys are going on an island on a ship and they're not going to be able to get away.
Oh. I thought of Lost. There's an island and there's a culty kind of thing on there, like the Dharma Initiative and whatever.
Yeah.
They have, and I love the concept of Lost and all that island type stuff. But I love this as well.
Yes.
Because it's all the food is grown here. They have all the chickens and the meat locker, whatever they call it, the meat hut.
Yeah, the Nordic whatever.
The Nordic, yeah, they smoke
leave
the
it for, like, what was it, 136 days or something.
Yeah. Then they have all the fresh greenery and whatever, and all the cooks all sleep together in bunks.
Yep.
And they say, where's the chef sleep? Because, the chef sleeps in the chef's cabin.
Yeah.
Can't go in the chef. No one goes in the chef's cabin. And immediately, as soon as I heard the word chef's cabin, I said, that sounds sinister.
Yeah.
So a chef's cabin, that sounds like a place where you're going to get slashed up and served.
I
thought the twist was cannibalism. I'm going to be out with that now.
See,
I thought the twist was cannibalism. But it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. I didn't really try and figure out where it was going.
Right, probably because you didn't know.
No.
You didn't go into it then.
But I loved how this film kind of slowly eases you into it.
Yeah, eases into it.
With is it 6 courses?
6 courses.
Yeah. And just every course just slightly worse.
Yeah, the food. I'm not gonna. I obviously credit to the people that worked on the actual food of the thing.
Correct.
It was done so much to the slightest detail that even the people that play the kitchen team learned their roles so much that they're actually broken down station by station. That if any time you look at them, they're all doing the correct thing they should be doing for that dish. Were it real life and not a film?
Yeah.
They're actually doing that. I find that amazing. And of course, the attention to detail again, especially with these dishes, are absolutely immaculate.
It's great.
I mean, I would say I'm not. I probably offend. Actually, no, I probably wouldn't offend Julian Slowik by saying I'm not a fan of fancy food.
Yeah. How fancy do you get? What is your level of
like steak?
Oh, okay.
I'd say steak's pretty fancy to me.
Yeah. Probably an afternoon tea for me.
Oh, right. And that's not much. Steak isn't beyond an afternoon tea.
It's not.
They're kind of almost on the same level.
Yeah.
I'd say that my level of fancy food is steak.
That's the fanciest I've been is a posh afternoon tea. That's as fancy as I've got.
Okay. So I don't think we'd offend Julian Slowik by saying that.
No. Saying that, I did have to wear a suit to go eat the afternoon tea.
Oh, okay.
So
I just wore a dress shirt, probably, and a tie, maybe.
But I would eat it. I would try it.
Yes.
I would give it a go.
Of course, prepared by renowned French chef Dominique Chen.
Yes.
Are you aware of Dominique Crenn. Are you aware of Dominique Crenn?
I don't know the name.
She's the only female chef in the United States to attain 3 Michelin stars for her restaurant, Altea Crenn in San Francisco.
There you go, good for her.
As 2016, yeah, shout out to you, Dominique Crenn. Though many of the cast and crew were often tempted to taste the delicacies between takes, they had to be reminded that the food items were predominantly props and not inedible.
Yeah. I assume, like, the second course is probably just a lot of, like, food colouring or whatever. Yeah.
It's a lot of food colouring. Because obviously, most of the food, like in commercials, the milk is glue and the strawberries are plastic and all of that kind of thing. There's so many tricks to do with that.
Yeah.
To make it look appetising, look tasty, but not actually be.
Yes.
Except for the cheeseburger.
Correct.
I think the cheeseburger and the chips were perfectly real, and I like to say that.
That's the one thing I would.
Yes, I would enjoy. Yes, I would enjoy that. So the courses begin with some kind of fish on a rock. Is that it? Oh no, it's scallops. Sorry.
Yes.
There's a man out there cooking scallops He's catching them. He brings them in, they have it on the rock, and the critic's like, oh, it's all pulled apart, and it's, the presentations are, that.
So
and she's critiqued many restaurants.
Correct.
And most of them have closed.
Yes.
The majority of them have closed that she's reviewed.
Yep. She's, I believe, critiqued him before as well, at least once.
And there's the deleted scene that shows that she kind of not discovered him, but she kind of put him on the map.
Yes.
As they say.
Yes, because there's a scene in the film where he's talking about chicken. It's a chicken leg, and she said in her review that put them on the map.
Yes.
Which he jokingly replies back saying, "What map might that be?" But no, the first course is the island.
Yes.
All natural. All comes from the island.
Yes. He says, "You will eat." I love his opening speech, by the way.
That's great.
I love his. I'm Julian Slowik. Welcome to Hawthorne.
Yeah.
Today you will not eat. You will taste.
Yeah.
Oh, his voice is like melty butter. His voice is like the chocolate melt in your mouth. Ray finds. He says, "You will eat animal. You will eat plants. You will eat microorganism. You will eat bacterium. You will eat entire ecosystems."
Yeah.
And it's just, his performance is just, it's chef's kiss. It's chef's kiss.
Yeah. So the first one is the island.
The island.
Very normal stuff. You think, okay, that looks nice.
Presentation looks like a nice little rock, nice little mountain with a little bit of scallop on it.
All normal. Completely normal.
Then,
second one's a bit weird.
The bread one.
Yep.
He talks about how he makes an opening speech. He says, bread can be made by anyone with flour and water, but it is food of the common man.
Yeah.
Bread can be eaten by anyone, and you are not the common man. He puts his hands together like and he goes, "You will not have bread."
Yes.
No one will have bread.
No. And then they all get given.
And then they'll get given
sauce.
savoury accompaniment,
Without
as the title says. I love the Master Chef breakdown of the food. It goes, the island, it says, oh. Then it goes, breadless bread plate. No bread.
Yeah.
Savoury accompaniment. And I go, yeah, that's amazing. Because they pay it off at the end when, again, big spoilers, the island explodes.
Yes.
They say, the Hawthorne Island, restaurant, customers, staff, chef, island.
Yeah.
Like, that's the ingredients.
But yeah, second one is just sauce. Loads of sauces. And this is kind of where there's a bit of a weird turn. The critic, notices one split.
One of the balms of split in the sauce.
And it's
presentation wrong. And then she gets served a bigger
pot of it, which is purposely split.
Yeah.
And it's at that point.
That maitre d', what's her name? Elsa?
Yes.
That maitre d' is really unsettling.
Yeah, she is.
She's the creepiest one, I think.
Yeah.
Even though she dies halfway through the film, but she's really unsettling. The way she bit that tortilla line is like, because after the breadless bread plates, is that where they get served it's Taco Tuesday?
Yes. No.
Wait, no, it's
because the chicken is Taco Tuesday.
The chicken is Taco Tuesday. That's right. And they've been told not to take pictures of it, but Tyler keeps taking pictures of it.
Yes, he took pictures of the first one, the island. Don't think he took pictures of
the first one. I think the amuse bouche, which was like a is it like seaweed on like a plate, and there's like little dots of stuff.
The first one was
the starter,
clams and lemon, caviar.
Yeah, that kind of fancy crap. They get fed that, then after they're served the Taco Tuesday.
Yep.
Which is, he gives a speech about how his mother, who is sat there drinking all the time, says that he had to defend her by stabbing his father with a pair of kitchen scissors.
Correct.
And that's how he got introduced to the kitchen.
Yes. It's at this point where you're thinking, okay,
Strong Memories, it's called, or something, isn't it? Strong Memories.
I'm trying to get a list up now. It's at this point where you're thinking...
Something's a turn here.
Yeah, because you're thinking, okay, right, first one, great.
They say
Second one, bit weird.
We pattern our tacos with our tortillas with this laser printer.
Yes.
And they have laser printer. And on the laser printer, for the rich couple, is the man having an affair with another woman.
Yes.
Behind their wife's back.
Correct.
The critic has restaurants which have closed from her reviews.
Yep.
The movie star is played by John Leguizamo, who was originally going to be... Daniel Radcliffe, playing Daniel Radcliffe.
Nice.
Are you aware of that?
No.
The scheduling didn't line up, but it was originally going to be Daniel Radcliffe, who playing himself. Then we have John Leguizamo's character, who has a film called Paging Dr. Sunshine.
Yeah.
And that film is bad.
And yes, yeah.
He says it was a fun picture to be on, but the directing wasn't anything. Funny, he didn't get the film director; he got the star. But okay, Chef Slowick.
Yep.
And that's what's on his tortilla. I don't remember what was on Tyler's. Wait, no, it was a picture of him taking a picture, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a picture of him. They've done that during the time. I felt like that was the most unsettling one. Like, they've done that. They've had a picture of him taking the picture and done and gone it.
Yep.
Done and gone it while it was.
The only one we don't see is Margot's, I believe.
Yeah, because she wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah. And the one of the three people has like loads of money he's like embezzled. So it's loads of money.
Yeah, it's like their tax form or whatever. They're like bank account. They've been embezzling money, and it's the three businessmen. The three businessmen are like, what the heck? This can stand up in court. This is all evidence of stuff. This is like crimes. And these guys are like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And he goes, hey, what's this? He shows the details in the tortilla, and she goes, it's a tortilla.
Yes.
And she goes, yeah, but what's on it? The guy goes, yeah, but look what's on the tortilla. He goes, it's a tortilla. It's made of flour and all the ingredients.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, I can't, these guys are practically begging for it at this point.
Yes. And it is, again, at this point, it's getting a bit more weird, a bit more real, but they still think it's all theatrical and it's part of the act.
It's part of the menu. It's just the menu. It's just the menu.
It's part of the experience. However, the next one goes a bit over that.
Yes, it does, just slightly. They lay out a tarpaulin.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun on radio.
And they put like. I know what they are because Ainsley Harriott uses them.
He does.
They're like, I'm naming chefs now. Adrian Harriott uses them. Imagine if Ainsley Harriott was the chef.
Oh my god!
My god! You mean
give me a good old rap?
Yeah. Just lovely.
Boy.
Hey boy! Like he sees that happen, he goes, hey boy! And he's got his, his banana splits and stuff, and his lamb.
Yeah.
He's doing his lamb, and he's making his pineapple sandwich.
Ooh, spicy.
Spicy. Oh, yeah. Lovely. Lovely.
Yeah. I love Ainsley Harriott.
I love Ainsley Harriott too.
But no, it's, what is it? It should say it on here.
It's Chef Jeremy's The Mess, isn't it?
Yes.
They lay out this big tarpaulin and put all these kind of spicy, spicy cloves, I want to say, around the tarpaulin, and Chef Jeremy comes out and he's crying, and Julian Slow goes, "Do you want my life, Chef Jeremy? You created this dish, Chef Jeremy. You are a sous chef, and you want this dish." And Jeremy's like, "Yes, chef. No, chef."
Yeah.
Then he has an accident.
Yes.
He has an awful accident.
And has to be taken away.
In the tarpaulin.
To get looked at.
Yeah, to get looked at in the tarpaulin because he's had a horrible accident.
He's had an accident.
He's had an accident.
Yes. That's The Mess.
That's The Mess. Chef Jeremy's The Mess.
Yeah.
And the title card even says at the bottom.
It's a Rip Jeremy.
Rip Jeremy.
I find that really funny.
Jeremy Loudon. Oh.
Now I've got a whole list, so it's fine.
And then he goes, eat, and then he shouts, eat!
He does.
And they all go, and they all start eating.
Except at this point, I forgot what was up next, but I've got a list of. Up next is the palate cleanser.
Oh, right, what's that?
Wild bergamot and red clover tea.
Oh, wonderful. Is that where all the men have to go outside?
No, that's the next one.
Oh, next one, okay.
Does anything happen? I forgot.
And meanwhile, Julian keeps going up to Margot and saying, "What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. This is the menu. This is supposed to be our great night." And Margot's like, I see through your lies.
Yes.
I see through the lies of the kitchen. Chef Slowick, I know what's going on here. And he takes her to the back and he goes, "Are you one of us? Are you one of them? Are you a taker or are you a giver? This is only about two people, the takers and the givers. And if you're not with us, if you're not on the chef side, if you're not on the pork side, then you're gonna suffer, this young lady." And she goes, "What's up with you? You're a crazy man."
Pretty much. But no, Bennett's outside.
I'm funny you didn't mention her smoking.
True.
Because Tyler mentions her smoking at the start of the film. By the way, that first shot is a stock footage.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, where she's dark under the car park and she's having a cigarette.
Oh.
That's stock footage.
Oh, great.
I did find that out because of a comment by David F. Sandberg on Twitter. David F. Sandberg is the director of Shazam.
Oh, okay.
David F. Sandberg said that most of the Shazam wide shots of the city are stock footage because the actual footage they took was completely garbage.
Yeah.
So they just used stock footage instead. And he said that the first shot of the menu is stock footage because that's what he was quote tweeting.
Yes.
It's woman taking cigarette under parking lot or something like that. Really specific.
Nice.
And it's the first shot of this film. I thought it was funny.
But up next is Man's Folly.
Yes, here we go.
Yes.
They're taken out back by another sous chef, a woman,
yes.
Who I recognised from Legends of Tomorrow. If you watch that programme, she plays Professor Snar's daughter. And she said that Professor Slowick was making advances on her, and he chose to ignore her and hate her, and continually demote her position and whatever, but now she's risen back up to prominence and now she will show Man's Folly.
Yes.
And all of the males have to run away apart from Tyler, who doesn't run, which I thought was funny. He just stands there because he wants to eat the food.
Yes. And
he leaves.
Correct.
Then all the other chefs who look like real beasts of a men. These guys are trained right? They're all like bodyguards, bodyguard chefs. Then Professor Slowick gets stabbed in the leg by this girl. I think she's got her name Catherine or something like that.
Yep.
She stabs her with kitchen scissors. Funnily enough.
Correct.
The same thing that he was stabbed with. He had to stab his abusive father with.
Yep.
Gets stabbed in the leg, and then they do Man's Folly. So all the men have to try and escape the island.
Yes.
One of them's had their fingers cut off.
Yes. I forgot about that.
Because he tries to leave.
Yep.
Who's played by the same guy that plays Donald Blythe in House of Cards.
Yep.
The same guy that plays Blythe in House of Cards wants to leave, but they don't let him leave, so they get a cleaver.
Correct.
And He suffers an accident.
He does. But no, they have to have 45 seconds.
45 head start.
They run.
Take off. One guy just goes immediately
just goes.
without even waiting for the count.
Correct.
Then the rest of them go. Blythe hardly makes it.
No.
The producer thinks I'll hide, which is a good idea. I said that. Just hide. They won't be able to find you.
Yeah.
He hides in the chicken coop, and he gets presented with a nice egg.
In all fairness, yes, he's the last one caught. He gets a nice egg.
As a presentation. And that guy that hands it to him is really nice. He's like, here you go, you are the last one caught. Here's a lovely egg for you. With nice cream and whatever. And he eats it, the guy eats it!
Yeah.
The publisher still eats it. Okay, sure thing.
Yeah.
I thought it reminded me of kind of like a Cadbury's cream egg. Imagine if you got that.
I'd hope not. I'm not the biggest fan of cream eggs.
Are you not?
No.
Oh.
Don't mind them, but I'm not the biggest fan.
I think they're a bit too sickly sometimes.
Yeah.
The chocolate's nice, but
Yes.
the creamy stuff.
Exactly.
Then it's one of those special eggs you can't eat. You don't eat. You taste.
Yes.
I'm just imagining that. It's like that ad. Someone sat in bed going, they've got the egg that's half coloured. They're like, it's one of those eggs you can't eat. They turn around and it's Julian Slowick in the bed. And he's like, you don't eat. You taste. The menu. Then they're back. They're all captured by the bodyguard chefs.
Yep.
Brought back to the restaurant where they have to all sit down and they have the next. But all the women are just having tea and
they're just
able
having
to talk
food
and having a chat. Margot's like, you know what? My name's not actually Margot.
Yes.
I'm an escort and my
Correct.
name's Erin.
And by the way, I'm that woman on your tortilla.
Yeah, I'm that woman on your tortilla as well. By that way, with
Yeah.
her wife, and she's like, you know what? It's okay.
Yeah.
Because by now they've been told that they're all going to suffer an accident.
Yes. And up next, this is the impromptu meal.
Yes.
Not meant to be a meal.
It's Tyler's accident.
Yes.
Because Tyler is brought up by Chef Slowick, and Chef
Yep.
Slowick says, you want to be a chef.
Exactly.
You want to be the top of the culinary world. I'm the top of the culinary world.
Yeah.
So now you will wear this chef's jacket. I'm
Yep.
going to inscribe it with your name. You are a chef. You are one of us. Go and cook us some food.
Exactly.
And Tyler goes, because he can take pictures of food, he can't cook it.
Can't cook it.
He goes, leek. And he goes, he said, we have everything. He says, we have everything.
Yes.
And he goes, leek. And he goes, leek. And they bring it. And they're all standing around him like a horrible peer pressure. I get flashbacks from school. They're all standing around him like it's a horrible peer demonstration. And he has to cook leek. And he's kind of just chopping the leek. It's really hard. He's like, and he says, he has onion. He goes, onion. They give him it immediately.
Yep.
That's the funny thing. They give it him immediately. Like they already have it on them. They give it immediately. And my favourite line, probably my favourite line in the whole film, is I know there's a really poignant one. This is just, I bawled laughing at this. He's chopping the onion and he can't do it.
Yep.
And Chef Slowick stops and says, I see we have a new dicing technique here. One that we have been woefully ignorant of, this new dicing technique by Tyler here. And he's just chopping madly. And then he slices up. He says, I'm going to put them in the pan.
Yes.
There's butter, and he chops off half the stick. He gets half the stick of butter. It's a thick stick of butter as well.
Yes.
He chops half the stick of butter off, puts it in the pan, and it's like, and he burns himself twice.
He does.
It's lamb. And he goes, right, lamb bones. And they just toss lamb bones in there, and it's Tyler's,
Yes.
Tyler's accident.
Yeah.
They call it, and they even say that. And I laughed at this as well. They call it that.
Yep.
And they say, hot, barely cooked leek, raw onion, lamb bone.
Yeah.
That's crap,
Yeah.
And then he eats it. Julian eats it, and he says, "It's awful."
Yeah.
And he goes, "It's awful." He breaks him down completely, gives him a right Gordon Ramsay. Goes over to how many chefs can I name in this episode? I wonder. He's no Jamie Oliver. He's no naked chef.
There's never one.
Goes over to him, and he says, "You're gonna do something bad."
Yes.
And Tyler goes off and he does something bad.
Yeah. It's also, again.
You don't hear what he says though.
No, you don't. It's also at this point we could have mentioned that it's revealed that at this point that one, Tyler knows what's going to
Tyler
happen.
knew they were all going to suffer an accident.
And he also brought Margot along, knowing that they were going to suffer an accident.
Knowing that none of them were going to walk out of that restaurant alive.
Yes. And he also, I guess, turned up knowing it was going to happen. Just for the chance to get some food.
Did he think he'd escape? Was there any Wi-Fi on that island? Who was he
I
sending
don't
those
know.
pictures to? Did he... he was taking those pictures but could never see the light of day, presumably, because
yeah.
he knew he would die when he would leave that restaurant.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what Tyler's motivations were, really.
But no, Tyler has the accident.
He does, in the closet.
Is it at this point when we find out why everyone else is here, or is that later on?
I think it's late. I think
Okay.
it's later on
Up next,
because he tells Margot, brings Margot aside, Julian,
Yes.
and he says, "There's a barrel in the meat shed. I want
Yes,
you
he
to go
does.
and get it
Yeah.
and bring it over here for the dessert."
up next is the birthday cake.
Yes, the birthday cake. Happy birthday to you. One of the businessmen sits. He's covered in like blood and his shirt's torn and he's like and they put a birthday cake in front of him and he goes, "Is this supposed to be funny?" And he goes, "It was funny about 3 hours ago. Yeah. When I ordered it for you."
But no, it's one of the people's birthday. Have a nice birthday. And then it's here because after this is where she's gone.
Yeah.
So it's
and by
also
this time
here.
as well, they've done Fallen Angel.
Yes.
Which was to take this man, Rex, this businessman who has kept the restaurant
correct.
Hawthorne thundered and kept Julian Slowick's pockets lined with money.
Yep.
He then gets dipped in water wearing an angel costume and he doesn't come back up.
No.
Because he says he has been, his guardian angel has kept, his angel investor, he says, "My angel investor has kept me afloat all these years." Funny that he wasn't able to float.
Yes.
Puts on sunglasses, you know, da, 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 da. That could have been done so well as that.
But no, he suffers that because he wanted substitutes, but there were no substitutes at Hawthorne.
No. I wanted a shot of outside where you couldn't hear what he was saying. It just looked like him banging on the window and yelling. He says you don't change the menu, Corey. You don't change the menu. You trust the menu. You trust the menu.
It's at this point.
Yeah.
Where
Margot goes to the cabin.
Margot goes, but it's halfway through this where it's revealed why everyone else is here.
Yes, and everyone else is here because the businessmen are here because they embezzle money from the company owned by the guy.
Yep.
The millionaires who are there because
they
don't even remember what they've eaten.
Yeah, so they're
there just for the experience.
The husband of the critic is there.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't remember what he's eaten, and he's been there like 11 times or something like that.
Yeah.
The critic's there because
the restaurants have closed, and she's
because of her. The movie star is there because he had one day off
a year.
Yes.
He had one day off in a year,
and he went to go see the film,
Paging Dr. Sunshine, and it was awful.
Yes. And apparently he saw the guy, and his face it triggered him, so he invited him onto the
It ruined his day, and he saw his face and in this new cooking program, and thought, "I'm gonna bring you to my island and make you suffer an accident."
Yeah, you've got.
Which is incredibly petty, but I also love that.
Yeah,
that it was his one day. He gets off. He goes, "I'm gonna go and see a film, like any good cinephobe would," and then. And then he just hates it.
Yep.
He hates the film and he decides to bring the guy to the restaurant and do that to him.
His wife is there because she doesn't have any student loans.
Producer, yeah, exactly.
So, yay, student loans.
Yay, student loans. I'm not going to go to Hawthorne.
Woohoo, student loans.
And that was so funny as well. He goes, "And what about you?" And she goes around and goes, "What?" And she goes, "Do you have any student loans?"
Yeah.
And she goes, "No." And he goes, "Yeah, you're dying."
Yes, but literally that's it. It's got it up here somewhere. He goes, "What school did you go to?" She goes, "Brown." "Student loans?" "No." And that's it. He says, "Yeah, you're dying. You're not leaving here."
Yeah, exactly.
So that's it. And then obviously Tyler is here because he takes pictures of food, knows like all these terms for food, but actually can't cook it and has no idea what he's doing.
Exactly.
And like we said before, Margot is not meant to
doesn't
be
belong
here.
in the kitchen, and Margot's not meant to be here.
No. So Margot is sent to get a barrel.
And she has to fight Elsa and kill her.
Yes.
And we realise that the chef's cabin is a perfect replica of the kitchen. Did you realise that?
Yes.
The chef's cabin is a perfect replica of the dining room.
Yep.
And I was blown away by that. Even the door is the same at the back, that spooky door they're allowed to go in.
It's got a practice, man.
It's got a practice, yeah, exactly. It's got a practice, got a practice, it's got to make your dishes. That's where he comes up with his culinary inventions. Culinary master, he's a wizard in the kitchen.
He is.
But she has to fight Elsa and kill her. But then her last words are, "He didn't tell me about the barrel."
Yes.
So he was... Because, of course, Julian was like, "Oh, my impertinent, ignorant assistant, Elsa, has not brought this barrel. Could you do it for me?" And he says, "He didn't tell me about the barrel. So, who's to blame?"
Yeah.
Maybe Chef Slowick. However, she goes through that door.
Correct.
The magic door.
Yep.
And she finds it's actually like a bunker.
Yeah.
It's some kind of bomb bunker or something.
It's like a bunker with loads of framed photos
of him, of young Slowick,
like throughout his career.
And the first picture is him working at a burger restaurant called like Howie's Hamburgers or something like that.
It's like a generic fast food
restaurant. And he's employee of the month, and he's smiling. He's so happy. He's cooking his burgers.
Yep.
Back in the restaurant.
Yes.
preparing the next dish, which is
The next dish after the birthday cake. That's it.
Oh, is it?
It's
It's
next.
the dessert.
Yeah.
It's the dessert.
Yes.
But she's had enough. And Margot says, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to send your food back.
Correct.
And Julian Slowick says, no food's ever been sent back. He goes, well, I'm sending it back. I'm sending the food back. I don't like it. It's not good. It's prissy. It's pushy. It's not real food. Food you can enjoy. Food you can eat.
Yeah.
Eat, damn it. Not taste. Eat. Food that you can just enjoy. Food that's melt in the mouth. Food that's brown food, brown drink.
Yeah.
Calories. Eating well, feeling good. That's what she's about.
Yes.
And they have a moment where, also, by the way, I think it's funny that his reservation book in the office ends at 2019 because of COVID. And one of the businessmen say that the guy that's funding him money kept him open during that time.
Exactly.
When everyone else was shut.
Yes.
Or went out of business.
Yes.
Then, despite that moment, they've also had another moment in the bunker in Slowick's office, where Slowick says, we both give services. We both provide services. I provide food, you provide... and we are both chained to that service. Do you enjoy that service? Margot goes, yeah. And she goes, I don't anymore. I don't enjoy cooking anymore. I don't enjoy being a chef. So she gives him something to finally enjoy. She says, well, what do you want? Slowick says, what food would you like? We've got everything. What food would you like? And she says, a cheeseburger. And he goes, what kind of cheeseburger? She says, medium well, American cheese. He goes, I don't think you can make a cheeseburger. She says, we can make you a cheeseburger. He goes, I don't think you can. Not a posh Apple crap.
Yeah.
Just a well-made cheeseburger. He goes, I'll give you a very traditional, very well-made cheeseburger. I like how he's taking it like a challenge. I'll give you a very good, very well-made cheeseburger, thank you.
Yes.
And he goes, well, American cheese. He goes, American cheese is the perfect cheese for a cheeseburger because it melts without splitting. And that's a fact that I will now carry on probably for the rest of my life. And he makes her a very well-made cheeseburger. It looks like the tastiest cheeseburger you've ever had.
Correct.
The ones your parents could barely afford. And crinkle cut or julienne fried. Crinkle cut she goes with in the end. And it looks great. Probably tastes pretty amazing. Onions on the bottom, onion fried, cheese, double-decker cheeseburger. And also notice, she gets bread.
Yes, she does.
She gets bread in the bun. She eats it, she has one bite. She says, I was waiting for her to turn around and go, no, it's not good.
That's what I thought she was going to say.
But she says, it's amazing. It's my best cheeseburger. Can I have it to go?
Yes.
And he goes, sure thing. Gives her a doggy bag, gives her a box, gives her a bag. Here's your gift bag. Goodbye.
Yep, she's gone.
Gives her the guy at the door gives her a jacket as well. Which was great. She takes a jacket off at the start of the film, never thinking, she doesn't want to lose it. But the guy at the door just kind of gives her a jacket. Here you go. She goes, thank you. And she takes the boat and she leaves.
Yep.
Not mentioning the bit where the Coast Guard guy came in and she used the radio in the bunker and brought a Coast Guard, but it wasn't actually a Coast Guard. It was a fake Coast Guard.
Yes, because he then decides that she is a taker.
Gun is a lighter. Yeah.
Yes.
No, she's a giver. Sorry, she's not a taker.
Yeah.
Everyone else are takers.
Yeah.
But she's a giver, so she gets to leave.
Yes.
And she's the final girl in the horror film.
She is.
She gets to walk out and leave the creepy island restaurant and take the boat home.
Meanwhile, everyone else
are dressed in marshmallow costumes, wearing big chocolate hats, chocolate chip hats, and they sprinkle graham crackers on the floor. And Julian Slowick says, "I hate the s'more. The s'more is an abomination. It is processed chocolate and crispy cracker." And stupid marshmallow. We're all going to be a s'more today because we're all burning alive, baby.
Yep.
And then he takes the hot coals in his hand.
He does.
It's honestly amazing.
It's
I
great.
really like this. This is like, we're going to give this a real rating now. I'm going to give it a 9. Maybe a strong 9.5.
Yeah.
For the menu. No argument. No, doesn't even. Menu related.
Kind of. So I was going down an avenue of what do I recommend?
By the way, the theme, if you've not looked at some of the video essays on this film, I'm going to recommend those first.
Yes.
On YouTube, just look up the menu video essay or analysis. Meaning behind it, it's a rabbit hole, but it's a fun rabbit hole.
Yes.
Right? So just explore that if you've got any spare time.
But no, I was trying to figure out what do I recommend? I was like, I initially thought, I'll YouTube and see if there's anyone who's made the meals of the film. because some of the meals are just actual normal things, normal ingredients, doing like actual
Is
meals.
it Binging with Babish?
No.
Oh, dang.
He made the cheeseburger.
Yes, what's that as well, by the way? Binging with Babish. Shout out to you.
But I wanted people...
Another chef as well.
Exactly. Who maybe made the island or,
Right.
you know, some normal stuff, not the
Yeah.
mess. Or the other one. Jeremy's... But I thought, weirdly, no one's done it. I thought, okay, right, what else? I was going to recommend just a food YouTube channel,
Yeah.
like sorted food or something. That's a bit of fun food. And then we got talking, and I thought, you know what? Nothing can be recommended that can beat the menu. The menu is going to be the standout thing. So I thought, right, I'm not going to try and recommend something that is better than the menu. Go watch it if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, please do.
So I thought, okay, right, what can I recommend? What's like a funny thing we can recommend? And right now, I'm going to Google it up right now, make sure I get it correct.
Okay, sure. Thing.
Now, we only recommend things that we love.
And if this isn't a bigger advertisement for watching the menu, please
right.
go and watch the menu.
We only recommend things that we love here at The Real Show.
Even if you're not a horror fan, my mum's not particularly a horror fan. She doesn't like, Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees popping out and scaring you and going boo. But there's none of that here.
Exactly.
It's just kind of very unsettling.
There are times where I thought there would be.
Psychological, yeah.
But it isn't.
There's no jump scares. There's There's a bit of gore, not much. There's just the occasional splatter.
Yeah.
It's very psychological, very sinister, very underlying, sort of unsettling kind of thriller. It's a thriller. It's
Yeah.
It's not a horror. It's a thriller.
Correct.
And I appreciate that genre in all of its forms, and I love it here. Go on, Corey.
So, I'm going to do a real show first.
Okay.
I'm going to recommend not a film,
Oh goodness, I feel like I know what's coming here.
not a TV show, not a book,
Not music.
not music, not a game show,
Okay.
not what else we recommended before, not a video game.
Not a video game.
I'm going to recommend...
Not a Lego set.
No. If we don't... Oh, you have. I'm going to do a real show first. I'm going to recommend...
Recommending food.
Some food.
Okay, go on then. Just take us away briefly, Corey, if you could.
For the lovely price, I've got it online in front of me. You can buy it at Sainsbury's for 70p. Tesco's for £1.20.
What is this?
A pack of 12 on Amazon for £8.40.
Oh, I don't even... What? Oh.
I believe my local shop sells it for £1 because I
Right.
get this all the time.
And?
I'm recommending Ainsley Harriet's Spice Sensation Couscous. It's one of the many couscous he has in his range.
Yeah, okay.
Ainsley Harriet's Spice Sensation Couscous.
How many reels are you going to give that?
I don't know how tempting. Do it at 10.
Don't do it, Terry.
Because it's great.
Okay.
It's fantastic.
You've tried this Spice Sensation couscous before?
It's the best couscous.
Tasted it?
I have. It's fantastic. You whack it in a bowl. You put it in like, I think it's like 120, 200 milliliters of water, boiling water. Leave it for about 3 minutes, and you fluff it up. Maybe add a bit of oil. Whoa, Spice Sensation.
Spicy couscous.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
It's great.
Slower could say that instead of he said "God donkey" once, a Gordon
Exactly.
Ramsay insult. But if you had said "Hey boy," I would have been.
But no, Ainsley Harriet's
Spicy Sensation couscous, and that is getting a real rating of.
I'm trying not to give it 10.
You can give it an 8 or a 9. I'd be happy with that.
Give it a 9.
Right. Okay.
It's great. The other couscouses are good, but you can't beat Spice Sensation.
That gets the same as the menu, right?
Yeah, it does. Even Ainsley Harriet
Spicy
likes Spice
Sensation
Sensation.
couscous.
That's his favourite
Okay.
couscous.
Excellent. Good
It
stuff.
is.
I wonder what Ainsley Harriet thinks of the menu. I bet he's seen it.
He must have seen it.
He must have seen it.
He must have seen it.
Thank you very much for watching our review, listening to our review of the menu. Try some Ainsley Harriet Spicy Sensation couscous.
Yes.
While you're watching the menu, you can enjoy both of them at the same time. It's a goodbye from me, goodbye, and a goodbye from Corey.
Goodbye.